Attributes that are known by the text, not by the mind. Attributes of Allah that do not have a mental proof. They only have a textual proof. Had it not come in the religious text, had these attributes that we are discussing not come in the religious texts, we wouldn't have any way to confirm them. And we wouldn't be able to confirm them. We wouldn't even have a justification to confirm them. Yad, Ayn, and Wajh, and these things. And there is nothing in the Quran or in the Sunnah that confirms for Allah ears or udhun. Udhun is not an attribute of Allah Ta'ala. Neither from the Quran nor from the Sunnah. We are here at footnote 528. Let's see what it goes to. The author says, the ambiguous verse is what could have different meanings according to the Arabic language and needs contemplation, thinking. Footnote, for one to deduce the meaning, one, that means the qualified scholar, has to look into the various possible meanings. Possible meanings. Not all the meanings, only the possible ones. One has to look into all the various possible meanings, not all the linguistic meanings, the meanings that are possible according to the Arabic language and the rules of the religion. Like we said about istiwa, you can't say about Allah, jalasa, he sat, although that's one of the meanings of istiwa. Nor i'tadala, he straightened up. Nor nadija, he became ripe. All of those meanings are not possible, although they do apply to the word istiwa. All these meanings share the word istiwa, but not all of them are possible in religion. This type of verse needs to be looked into by the qualified scholars who have understanding and extensive knowledge of the texts and their meanings. And qualified scholars, it's not being just a hadith scholar that makes someone qualified here. A hadith scholar, even an extremely proficient hadith scholar, even a master amongst the master hadith scholars could be brittle here. Like what was said about Ibn Khuzaymah. Can anyone tell me something about the book of Ibn Khuzaymah? What can you tell me about the book of Ibn Khuzaymah, his hadith book? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The book of Ibn Khuzaymah is the third most authentic book of hadith. After Bukhari and Muslim, in authenticity comes Ibn Khuzaymah. So, what kind of hadith master must you be for your book to be the third book in rank in terms of authenticity? You're going to be a master. This one, it is famous about him that he was weak in this issue. And he fell into massive blunders in this issue of mutashabi texts. Subhanallah. Why? How could this happen to him? Because of not learning the Aqidah strongly. Studying hadith science will not protect the person from this merely. You must study the Aqidah too. In fact, if a person doesn't study the Aqidah and learn the parameters of the right belief, if he indulges in the Hadiths the way a massive Hadith scholar would do, then do you know how many mutashabih texts he's going to subject himself to? A person should not subject himself to these ambiguous texts without having the background information to protect him. And that's what happened to him. And it was said that he repented before he died, though. Inshallah, after doing a big job like that and providing a service to the Muslims like he did, inshallah, Allah gave him a good ending. That would be nice. So for one to deduce the meaning, one has to look into the various possible meanings. This type of verse needs to be looked into by the qualified scholars who have understanding and extensive knowledge of the texts and their meanings. And by the way, when it says here for one to deduce the meaning, this gives an impression here that's not necessary. The impression here is that there's just a single way to explain the ayah. Sometimes the way to explain the ayah is to say, it could mean like this or it could mean like this. You would say if the pronoun goes back this way, then it means like this. If the pronoun goes that way, it means like this. If this word means this, then the ayah means this. Or if it means this, then the ayah means that. And this is the interpretation. You say all of that is the way of explaining the ayah. Saying it this way is like a simplified way to deduce the meaning. This gives you the impression that there's one single solitary meaning at the end of the day, which is the meaning, and in order to get to that very one solitary meaning, then you need to put your effort. That's not really the necessary case. Ibn Khuzaymah, I'm not sure. He's in the time of the Salaf, though. Let's see. Probably if somebody Googled him, most likely it's going to be correct as far as the time he lived in, when he died or something. Dates of people, those ones are usually right. But I'm not sure exactly when he was. There was whole controversy surrounding him. But someone like him is going to be a problem for the Muslims because they will be thinking that he's an authority. Because he's an authority in one field, someone's going to be thinking he's an authority in another field. So this type of verse needs to be looked into by the qualified scholars who have understanding and extensive knowledge of the texts and their meanings. So they're going to have strong knowledge in the Aqidah in the first place and strong knowledge in the Arabic language, as well as any other qualifications they need to be able to come to the right meanings of these verses. It is not lawful for every person who reads the Quran to interpret it. Yes. Next footnote. This footnote goes here. The term istawa can accept 15 meanings. That's what some of them said. And that's what we learned from our teachers. And that these 15 meanings are in Al-Qamus al-Muhit. And I looked into Al-Qamus al-Muhit to count the 15 meanings. I didn't find 15. So, yani, that's probably my shortcoming, but I didn't find 15. I wasn't able to isolate 15 different meanings for istiwa there. I think I got up to 10 or more than 10. Let's pull up Al-Qamus al-Muhit real quick. So the term istawa can accept 15 meanings. This is transmission here. 15 meanings is by talaqqi. I didn't myself see 15 listed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down to 15. Each meaning one by one, spelled out. But for sure, I counted up to 10. Either by this Qamus al-Muhit or just looking in some different sources Yani, I know that's why I usually say has more than 10 meanings, because that's what I counted and saw with my own eye. And if I want to say what I heard Sheikh Samir saying, it has 15 meanings, though I didn't see all 15, as if I never saw all 15. Some thought to themselves that it means jalasa. He sat and thus believed that God sat on the ceiling of paradise. Yani, I want to say canopy now, because I feel like ceiling gives the impression that it's touching paradise. It's over paradise, not touching it. It doesn't seal paradise. So canopy. It's over paradise. The canopy of paradise. Al-Arsh. Some said it means istaqarra, dwelled or settled. And they thought then that Allah dwelled over the Arsh, or dwelled on it, with differences among them about the detail there. Is there space left on there for Prophet Muhammad, according to some of them? Or is Allah himself hovering over it by a 4-finger distance, or what? Or is he so far over it that he's not in a place, according to them? We know Allah exists without a place, but according to them, this means he's so high over the Arsh that it's just as if he exists without a place. So as a result, this is an ambiguous verse. Ar-Rahmanu ala al-Arshi istawa. Here's a footnote. One needs to look into the different meanings of the term istawa to deduce the acceptable meaning for the verse. One here means the qualified scholar. Not everyone who knows the Arabic language would immediately know the acceptable meanings for these verses upon hearing them. Yes. That statement is true for the ambiguous verses generally. That not everyone who knows Arabic would immediately understand their meanings. Next footnote goes here. For example, herein is literal implication of containment in the upper direction. In this ayah, إِلَيْهِ يَصْعَدُ الْكَلِمُ الطَّيِّبُ, that's Surah Fatir. It seems to mean, to him ascend the good words. So, here's a footnote. Let us take an example from the application of the saying of Allah, Hunna Ummul Kitab. They are the base of the book. Allah said, the ayah that we're discussing, إِلَيْهِ يَصْعَدُ الْكَلِمُ الطَّيِّبُ. It seems to mean the good words ascend to him. But this can have more than one meaning. It can be interpreted in more than one way. Because, for example, surud, which is ascending, it can be a physical ascent or it could be a figurative ascent. Don't they say he ascended the throne? Doesn't mean he flew up into the sky. Doesn't mean his feet left the ground. It means he obtained that position. So it's not explicit in what, there's something that appears, but what appears is not explicit. إِلَيْهِ يَصْعَدُ الْكَلِمُ الطَّيِّبُ. It can have more than one meaning. Not everyone who knows the Arabic language would immediately know the meaning of this verse upon hearing it. Your Arabic is still not enough to make you know what these verses mean. One needs to think and look at the different connotations so to arrive at the acceptable meaning. Some people can't do that, though. I know some people can't do that. I recently got a question. Someone sent me a question. They said to me, in one lesson, you said that Allah created the earth on Sunday and Monday, and He created the sky on Tuesday and Wednesday, and He created all the different kinds of things on Thursday and Friday. So one of his questions was, so that means He created the angels and the jinn on Thursday and Friday? So I don't know why he has to ask this question. It's like he cannot put something together. But that's not even the example I wanted to give you. This same one, he said to me, and in another lesson, you said the angels and the jinn were created on some of those days, and you didn't say which ones. Why did you do that? SubhanAllah. And I try to be patient with the people. Sometimes it's not easy. Because all you have to do is put it together. If it says in one lesson they were created on Thursday and Friday, then it says in another lesson they were created on some of those 6 days, then you just put it together and say they were created on Thursday and Friday. So that's a lesson. Some people, they don't understand. They don't know how to put things together. One needs to think and look at the different connotations so to arrive at the acceptable meaning. Some who do not have sound knowledge of the religion nor that of the language might conclude or understand an improper meaning from it. One person said to me, "You know that saying that 2 women can travel?" I told him it's 3 women. The saying is 3 women. He said, "Okay, 3 women. So that means 1 woman with 2 more?" La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. This hurts me, yani. Those things, they bother me, mashallah. But I need to be patient. Make dua for me. What they have to do with what we're talking about? Just, yani, sometimes you need some brain power to do some things. You need to be able to think so that you can come to answers, proper answers, put things together. Some who do not have sound knowledge of the religion nor that of the language might conclude or understand an improper meaning from this ayah. إِلَيْهِ يَصْعَدُ الْكَلِمُ الطَّيِّبُ. When they hear the verse, they might understand that the good words ascend up to him, that Allah is somewhere above, and that the good words that were said would be raised and go up to him. What led them to this meaning, to this misinterpretation, is the word ila, to, from ilayhi. So ila can mean to, which means the end result, the place where one ends at. Ilayhi means to him. But ila can have other meanings too, as will be made clear, insha'Allah ta'ala. The term yasa'adu in the verse can refer to elevation or to physically ascend, but it also indicates the meaning of acceptability. Yeah. And being high, being up, yani high rather, let me just say high. Being high or highness, it has 2 meanings. The meaning of a physical meaning, and it has a meaning of, it has yani a statistical meaning, meaning the status, the greatness. The one who does not have knowledge of the language or of the religion, yani nor of the religion, might understand from those words that the good words would go up to Allah. The proper meaning of this verse is that the good words like La ilaha illallah would be raised to a place honored by Allah, which is the sky. This conforms with the decisive verse, Laysa kamithlihi shay. Nothing is like him in any way. And a Wahhabi or an anthropomorphist will not be satisfied with this explanation. So you need to give him more, which we're going to do now. The one who explains that verse to mean that Allah is sitting above and the good deeds will go up to him, then he contradicts this decisive explicit verse, Laysa kamithlihi shay. To such a person, we say that it is not permissible to interpret the verses in a way that they contradict each other. And the words of this verse can have more than one meaning in the Arabic language. So there's no need to direct the interpretation in such a way that it clashes with something else. The verses of Al-Quran supplement each other. They do not contradict each other. One is not allowed to choose the meanings that contradict the other verses of the Quran. Hence, it is forbidden to interpret ilayhi as to the place of Allah. And it's not true that the word ila only means the place where one would end up. So ila means to, T-O. It's not true that it only means to. This verse contains a figure of speech. This one, إِلَيْهِ يَصْعَدُ الْكَلِمُ الطَّيِّبُ وَالْعَمَلُ الصَّالِحُ يَرْفَعُهُ. And what further supports the interpretation of the people of the truth? For this verse, we are saying it means the good words ascend to the place that is noble to Allah, not that they ascend to Him. What supports the interpretation of the people of the truth, which is the way I explained it for you? What supports their interpretation is this verse. وَقَالَ إِنِّي ذَاهِبٌ إِلَىٰ رَبِّي سَيَهْدِينِ. Abraham said, I am surely going to my Lord. He will guide me. So, إِنِّي ذَاهِبٌ إِلَىٰ رَبِّي. I am going surely to my Lord. But Allah exists without a place, and Allah is not on the earth. So how would He be going to His Lord? And this is an expression. It talks about Prophet Ibrahim, this verse, when he traveled from Al-Iraq to the countries of Ash-Sham. If one were to take the term ila and interpret it as to the place where one would end at, then he would be saying that Ibrahim was going to Ash-Sham where Allah is, and this is blasphemy, and it is misguidance. Hence the term ila too. It has more than one meaning, more than one usage. One would select the meaning for ila that would conform to the rules of the religion and the rules of the Arabic language. The meaning of the verse in chapter Fatir, Surah Fatir, would be that the angels who write down the good words and take them up to the sky, the sky which is a place of honor to Allah because He is not disobeyed there. The meaning of the verse in chapter Fatir, Surah Fatir, not Al-Fatir, just Fatir. The meaning of the verse in Surah Fatir would be that the angels who write down the good words would take them up to the sky, which is a place honored by Allah or honored to Allah. And they would do that as an indication of acceptability, that these words are accepted to Allah. The word ilayhi in the verse means to the place honored by Allah, not just to the place that's honored by Allah. The place honored by Allah is the sky, just like the other verse. وَقَالَ إِنِّي ذَاهِبٌ إِلَىٰ رَبِّي سَيَهْدِينِ. So this ayah also means to the place that is honored and blessed by my Lord, because that's where he was going, not up into the sky. He went to the Levant, the land of Al-Iraq. The land of Iraq was in the land of the tyrants, and the land of Asham was known for being the land of the prophets. The land of Asham is known for being the land of the prophets, and it is a blessed land. Subhanallah. Do you have any questions so far? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Let me get him some of the, I don't know his name you said, about the Hadith scholar. How did he get that efficient learning the Hadith about learning the Aqidah?
How did he learn the Hadiths without learning the Aqidah?
Yeah.
In those days, the knowledge was abundant. So the one who wanted to learn something, he can just cherry pick whatever he wants to learn. There's so many scholars there at that time, so much knowledge at that time. So then if someone's interested in hadith and he's not interested in Aqidah, he could indulge in the hadith science and become proficient. And we're going to pray for him that he doesn't commit blasphemy due to all the mutashabih texts that he will encounter, and he needs to sift through them.
So we don't use that. Do we use any of those Aqidah? Use any of his references because of what he said? Because this shortcoming.
Use what as reference?
Yeah, I was just asking. Do we? I mean, do we use any? And do anybody from
Oh,
our
do we use it? Do we? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's third most reliable book in authenticity. Yeah, yeah, and they said these hadiths are authentic. So if they determine that the hadiths are authentic, they're going to take them. At that point, then it doesn't become about the one who's giving them. It becomes about the fact that they are authentic.
Thank you.
You're welcome. وَسُبْحَانَ اللَّهِ وَبِحَمْدِهِ. Let's stop here.